Welcome back. Cars just beginning to roll off of pit road and on to this newly repaved 1.5-mile racetrack. The Kansas Lottery 98.9 about to get underway. Our Menard's pole award won earlier today by Alex Bowman. It's his 6th career pole and just his 21st start. All 6 of his poles have come this year. That's why he has been so good in the Messina rookie battle up to this point. So Alex Bowman gets your Menard's pole award presented by Ansel. Our starting lineup will roll across the top of the screen. And we've got 2 men down on pit road that are going to be covering the stories, Jim Trado and Ray Dunlap. And we're going to start off with Ray.
Well, thank you, Rick. You know, I haven't been covering ARCA quite as long as Phil, but I have been around this series for more than 20 years. And what I think is great is to look at the contrast between the 2 drivers we're talking about tonight in the championship. I want to show you a picture of Frank Kimmel. This is how we know this guy as a 9-time champion. He's usually standing there with the trophy. He had 7 of them in a row from 2000 to 2007. This guy has been a stalwart in this series. With all of his wins in these championships, all of the young drivers look up to him and learn a lot from him. But to me, I think tonight's about the Rouleau brothers. Take a look at these youngsters. This is in the late 60s when the young Rouleau brothers were at Blue Island Raceway up in Illinois. And this family's come a long way. But the team has won 31 different races, and they've had a lot of great drivers behind the wheel of their race cars over the years. I'm in the Rouleau brothers pits right now, and there's a lot on their shoulders. They've never ever been in this position to win a championship. Tonight could be a big night for all of these guys in pit stall number 1. Jim?
And Ray, I'm in the pit stall of our pole sitter, Alex Bowman, because he is a very fast car. He is part of the equation for these championship contenders. He was flat-footing around this racetrack in practice. He flat-footed in qualifying. He won his 6th Menard's pole this year. More importantly, his pace may determine the pace of our championship contenders. This racetrack is cold. It's below 50 degrees. ARCA has given these teams a 3rd set of tires behind pit road with the unknown factor of how the tires will wear. What we do know is Bowman's fast, and that may make the strategy change a bit for both Buescher and for Kimmel early on. He's up front, and he plans to stay there to win yet another race here in his rookie season.
Thanks, Jim. We're going to ride along with a few different drivers. Phil, we've got a few cars that will give us some pretty good perspective of what's going on out there.
Yeah, we're going to ride along with Dustin Hopka. He's made 1 previous start this year at Elko, Minnesota. He finished 18th, and he will start his Sure Step Chevy from the 34th spot.
We've also got a camera riding along with Milka Duno. She's going to start 25th in her number 94. We'll see how she's able to do through the field tonight.
We're going to ride along with the 23 car of Spencer Gallagher. He is 7th in points right now in the Allegiant Air Chevy, and he will start from the 19th position.
Matt Lofton also carrying one of our cameras, a career best of 2nd at Elko earlier this year. That's his 2nd time that he's been 2nd in a race, so he wants to improve upon that tonight.
We're also going to ride along with our point leader, 19-year-old Chris Buescher in the Reliance Tool Ford. He needs to finish 15th no matter what Frank Kimmel does to win this championship, and will start from the 9th spot.
So he's got his work cut out for him, but we have 99 laps before it's going to be decided. And again, you talked about the 2 guys racing for this championship, Chris Buescher and Frank Kimmel.
Let's see if we can talk to Frank Kimmel just moments before he gets ready to start this race. Hey, Frank Kimmel, Phil Parsons up in the speed booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha, Phil.
Frank, we talk about speed, and this racetrack is so fast, 12 miles an hour faster than the pole last year. What do you think about all this speed?
Well, it should be interesting, Phil. These kids are they all run really fast, and our car is really good also. So everybody up here in the front is going to be good. I think that hopefully we won't have any issues, but I think the problems will be when we start catching lap traffic, and I think you're going to see a lot of difference in closing rates and different speeds into turns. So, you know, if everybody pays attention, watches what they're doing, we should be okay. But sometimes that doesn't work out, you know.
Frank, you haven't gone away. You've obviously been a contender each and every year, but you got back to victory lane this year a couple times. What would a 3rd win here in 2012 mean to you?
Really, it'd be a big deal. Our mile-and-a-half program's really picked up, and the guys, we make fun about my qualifying and everything. We finally got up here where I can see the first pace car, Phil, so we're pretty happy about that with qualifying. And whenever you beat these kids at these kind of racetracks, it makes you feel good. So we'll go after them hard as we can here and see how it works out later tonight.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Appreciate it, buddy.
We talked about 85 points separating Frank Kimmel from Chris Buescher. How about the bonus points that they've received throughout the year? In qualifying, Frank said hadn't qualified very well. He can finally see the first pace car. He has not scored a point in qualifying this year.
And that's amazing. 55-point difference in qualifying bonuses, about even in lap leader bonuses. As you can see, he's 85 points behind total overall.
We did have issues in qualifying that took place just over an hour ago. Actually, it was pretty close to just happening, and it was the 66 of Nelson Canache who gets a little wild and into the wall. That slowed qualifying down for almost 15 minutes while they were working on that wall and making sure to clean up the debris off the racetrack.
Yeah, that's a great view of how fast these cars are going. They're probably running, you know, upwards of 170 miles an hour in the center of the corner.
And that wasn't the only problem that took place during qualifying earlier. Coming off of the apron, trying to get up to speed, lost control and up into the wall.
Cold tires, you know, situation with cold tires, they just didn't quite have them underneath them. Down on the flat of the racetrack, you see pretty significant contact for the 73 car.
Yeah, Dale Shearer in that 73 smashes the front end of that race car. So again, now we're 2 by 2 getting ready for the green flag to fly on the final event of the 2012 season. 2 drivers right in the hunt. Chris Buescher, it's his championship to lose. All he has to do is stay in front of the 44 of Frank Kimmel. That's easier said than done, though. It speeds upwards of almost 200 miles an hour that these guys are going when they enter turns 3 and turn 1.
And the grip's going to stay there. I think these guys are talking about the grip not going away. It's not like they're going to slow down a couple seconds.
Temperature staying cool. 2 by 2. Coming out of turn number 4, Alex Bowman, after winning his 6th pole of the 2012 season, brings the field to the green flag. Kevin Swindell on his outside. Green flag in the air. We're underway from Kansas.
Pretty even start for our front row. Alex Bowman emerges with the lead. Good run through 1 and 2.
Tiptoeing their way through 1 and 2. Not sure exactly how far the groove will move up during this race, but during practice, not many ventured as high as we're seeing cars right now going through 3 and 4.
Yeah, you see Kevin Swindell, the 55 car, the Curb Records car, all the way up in the 2nd groove. That's a good sign for the rest of these competitors.
Bad sign for everyone else, though, as Alex Bowman already has put a 2nd between him and John West Talley, who's moved up into the 2nd spot.
Good battle between Brendan Poole in the 25 car as well as Kevin Swindell in the 55. Oh, got a spinner.
Already the 52 of Chad Boat gets hit upside down as they slide down the backstretch. Chad Hockenbraugh also involved, as well as the 16 of Lofton. We saw Chad Boat slide sideways, and it looked as though another car got into the side of him, and that turned him upside down on the backstretch.
See, Chad Hockenbraugh ripped the quarter panel off of that 58 car. Chad comes in here in the top 5 in points. Not a contender for the championship, but certainly wants to solidify that spot up in the top 5.
Justin Lofton in the 16. Stopped on the racetrack, still sitting in that car.
Matt Lofton, 6th in points coming into this race.
Yeah, Matt, what a wild ride he had, but not nearly as wild as what took place with Chad Boat in the 52, upside down in that race car.
Yeah, Chad's only made a couple starts this year. He had a great 3rd place finish at Iowa earlier this year, and then came back at LOR with an 8th place finish. But man, what a ride.
Just got a little sideways coming off of turn number 2, and nowhere to go for the car behind him. Ran right up on the side of that race car, and up and over it went. See Chad getting the helmet off. Safety crew is attending to him.
We can see him looking around in the car. Just be a matter of moments, I'm sure, till Chad climbs out. Chad has an open wheel background, so a lot of midget racing, so you know they spend a lot of time up on their lid. rolling around, but not normally in a 3,400-pound race car. As we see now, Chad climbing out of that car. That's great. A great view right there to see Chad climbing out.
But a wild ride, as he will take one more ride here at the track to the Infield Care Center.
That's actually an ex-Hendrick Motorsports car that Chad's dad, Billy, purchased from Hendrick Motorsports. Billy's a former IndyCar winner, a multi-time winner, driving for A.J. Foyt.
Open wheel ranks. So again, the walk over to the ambulance. We'll go to the infield care center for Chad Boat. He's going to talk a little bit with Lofton. Those two will, I'm sure, discuss what just took place. It was Lofton that got into the side of that 52. And up and over he went. But just before we saw that, it looked as though Mason Mitchell in the 6 was slow on the racetrack, maybe saw the 52 sliding.
You see the 52 is around sideways. He tried to exit the corner high coming off turn number 2. Lost a little bit of rear grip, got sideways, and here's the contact with the 16 of Matt Lofton.
Chad Hockenbraugh trying to stay out of that inside wall, and then a little contact late with Matt Lofton in the 16, tears the left rear quarter panel off.
You see Chad, he just wiggled a little bit, then got his right sides up where nobody had gone, and it was just the impact from Matt Lofton's car that turned that car over.
And that was right in the driver's side door, so great to see Chad Boat climb out of that car and walk away, as we also were able to take a look at Matt Lofton. Incredible at the speeds that these cars are traveling. Chad Boat, Matt Lofton both able to walk away from their cars and to the ambulance, where they will head to the infield care center, get checked out. So the first caution comes out on lap number 2. Involved in this, Matt Lofton, Chad Boat, and Chad Hockenbraugh. Probably not the start that Chris Buescher, running for a championship, wanted to see. A very quick caution. That means another 2x2 restart. Sunday NASCAR Race Day delivers the ultimate pre-race coverage from Kansas before race 6 of the chase, and get exclusive access with Michael Waltrip Racing as Clint Boyer battles to maintain momentum in the title fight. Don't miss NASCAR Race Day, fueled by Sunoco. That's Sunday, 11 Eastern, live on Speed. Under our first caution here in the Kansas Lottery, 98.9, Chad Boat in the 52, already upside down on the top of that race car, but back on the 4 wheels when he came down. Take another look at what happened.
This is from Matt Lofton's onboard. You see Chad get a little bit sideways. Matt was out of the throttle, I'm sure, on the brakes, but nothing he could do when Chad turned around right in front of him.
So 3 cars involved in this one. The 58, the 16, and that 30 or 52.
Yeah, again, the 58, Chad Hockenbraugh, top 5 in points coming in here. Matt Lofton just outside the top 5 in 6th.
And more on the 58 of Chad Hockenbraugh, Jim Trado.
And Philly's just 20 points ahead of 6th in the point standings. This team worked extremely hard on this brand new car they built in-house. They took it to Earnhardt Technologies. Dave Charpentier is on the pit box working with his team, with crew chief Kevin Reed. Obviously, this is not the way they wanted to finish this run, but the chassis new, the body's new. The team is ready to bring that car back down pit road. Discussion on if they want to put tires on now, but Hockenbraugh has a long way to run to maintain that 5th place in the point standings here at Kansas.
Well, unfortunately for the guy running 6th, that was the other car involved, Matt Lofton. So he's got a little bit of a cushion anyway, because he know Matt has some significant damage.
So the 58 comes to pit road. They'll do a little tire work on that one. Crowd bundled up here at Kansas Speedway.